Hi, my name is Christian Wurzelball. I'm consulting the laundry industry with management training, know-how in Textile Service 4.0 and practical hints that you can implement right away. I'm also an entrepreneur in the laundry business, so I have a laundry with 35 tons a day, which is something like 80 or 90,000 pounds per day. And we service hospitals, nursing homes, and hotels in the German market. So I'm talking on the one hand as a consultant, I have a consulting business, and on the other hand as an entrepreneur. So I made up some thoughts about this year, and I want to share it in this video. The year 2024 has started. What are the opportunities? What are the uncertainties? What are the risks? Let's talk about it. So on the one hand, we have quite a lot of uncertainties. What's the real development of prices? How will inflation develop? Is there also a risk of deflation? We do not know how the prices will change over the year because if there is a crisis, for instance, with China or any other country like with the Houthis in Yemen, all of a sudden prices can change. And if government intervenes, this can also have an impact. And there are also deflationary pressures. Personally, think of it like a balloon. So when you inflate a balloon, the balloon becomes bigger, and deflation is when you get the air out of the balloon. That's deflation, more or less, and especially deflation in assets. And some asset classes are already a little bit deflating, like real estate. And so there is a risk, especially with assets, that we will have a deflation. And so we could have both. On the one hand, an inflation, an increase in consumer prices, and on the other hand, a decrease in real estate or even stock and other values. So this could be a very tricky mixture. Especially also for the central banks, what they can do at this moment. It's a risk, so we cannot say with certainty that it will not happen, and we cannot say with certainty that it will happen this year. And therefore, we need to watch out and be careful in our daily business, because that we have returned to the situation of 2019. We are still in a time of uncertainty, and there are also uncertainties in the markets. I do not know all the markets all over the world, so I do not want to to talk about it on a global basis. I can say that many customers are also under pressure because some customers are also sensitive to interest rates. It's, at least in the German-speaking realm, we can see that some industries are quite under pressure. On the other hand, the US is booming. It's different in every place, and we need to take aware of changes that might happen. Then, of course, politics everywhere, like the election in the States, also in my home country, in Austria, we have elections this year. It will be an interesting year with politics. And of course, this has quite an influence in the daily business as well. There are also quite a lot of opportunities, and I will make a few videos about it. So subscribe to the channel, and then you will see these videos. On the one hand, more digitalization. We should not need any paper in the industry, in the office, in the communication with the customer and so on. And I think there are opportunities to improve the processes there. And then also robotics. I will make a video about robotics in the industry. I think there are some really, really interesting developments that might even materialize this year, next year. At least it's on the horizon. And of course, UHF technology is very mature now. There are also quite a lot of market opportunities. So in a time when there is much change, then there is also much opportunity. And I think we should also always focus on the opportunity and not on the problems. Of course, we need to face the risks, yes, but we should focus on the opportunities and make our strategy accordingly. When you follow this channel, then you remember the 6 viable KPIs. And it's on the one hand, market position, innovation, productivity, HR, cash flow and profit margin, and liquidity, financing. And all this is interconnected. And it's important this year we focus on the health of the company, of the health of the business, and the business is healthy if all 6 KPIs are developing the right way. So you cannot skip one of these 6. Otherwise you endanger your business. On the one hand, it's market share. I think customer satisfaction on the one hand is a huge opportunity right now. There are so many laundries, so many textile rental operators that are just focused on themselves, on the cost structure, on supply and on employees and stuff. And many forget the customer. And if you are the one of these who has a focus on the customer, then you have big opportunities. But first of all, you need a good strategy. And this is maybe even more important than in other times, because there are many opportunities that come around, like competitors that go out of business or struggle. And then you need to you need to know your strategy, because otherwise you start to be an opportunist and take you take on customers or businesses and whatever that doesn't fit your business. And if you focus on the right customer segment for your business that fits to your strengths, if you have a very good strategy, then this can make a huge difference, and not just in the long term. I would even say in the short and medium term. So strategy is a huge lever, and then of course customer satisfaction. I like the phrase from Jeff Bezos at Amazon. He spoke about customer obsession. And I think we should be obsessed with customer service. And then you can grow your business in the right way. And even if you do not want to grow much because you are at capacity, then you can exchange those customers that are not so profitable with customers that are the right fit to your business. So growing with the right customers is a huge opportunity, and customer obsession is probably one of the big drivers of this. At the same time, you need also to have your limits, and the customer relationship needs to be healthy. And this is actually something that many smaller companies can learn from the big ones. In a big corporation, you have, say, something in the legal, somebody in the legal department, and these guys read, for instance, the offers, the tenders and stuff for new contracts. And if there is a clause that doesn't fit the business, then they just say, no, we do not make an offer there. Or please, you need to visit this customer and tell him this or that, because we need to change it. And this is, on the one hand, a disadvantage of corporations because they are not so flexible when it comes to customers. But on the other hand, it's a huge strength of corporations because they know their limits, and many small enterprises do not know their limits. And I think that's a challenge when it comes to pricing, when it comes to item list, when it comes to services that you want to provide. You also need to know where is your no. Where is the limit? Where do I need to have? Where I need to say no to the customer? And so on the one hand, it's about customer satisfaction, but on the other hand, it's also to know which customers do I want to serve, at what price, and with which item list, with which service, and so on. And if you develop this yourself and you provide a really great service, a great item list, and so on, and you offer this to the clients, then of course you can also say no to clients that do not appreciate your offer the right way. And I think that's key for market success, and it's part of strategy. The next one is, of course, innovation, and innovation is actually a part of strategy, because strategy is, on the one hand, which customers to serve, but also with which items and which services you provide. What is your differentiation from the competition? Why are you better? So this is basically the offer to the customer. You need to develop it in the long term, so that you are always ahead of the curve. And the good thing is that we have a very local industry, and you can learn from others in other regions, and be very innovative with existing ideas in your local market. And this also leads me to the program that we have at LeanLaundry, and we will start it also in April in English, where we have entrepreneurs and we meet together once a week for a brief session, and we exchange our thoughts and we develop the business together. And that's a real great opportunity. And if you want to join the program, we want to provide a really, really good experience, and we have a really great feedback of the German participants that we have right now. The link is in the video description below. The next thing is productivity, and productivity is, on the one hand, doing the basics, lean management, and listening to the employees, maintaining machinery, improving processes and stuff. There's huge potentials. Even if you are already a good established company, 10% improvement is always there. And then, of course, there are technological developments like digitalization, like robotics, like UHF technology, that will increase productivity big time over the next few years. And therefore, we can change the goalposts there, and we can change them together. The next one is HR. And the good thing is, if you increase productivity, then this has also a good impact on HR, because you can pay your employees better. And one of the most important things for an employee is their wages. And in order to be competitive and on a very tight labor market, and unfortunately this will not change over the next decade, we need to be productive on the one hand, and on the other hand, we need to develop the employees and the skill set and so on. So HR is probably something that will make or break many companies. It's about reduction in turnover of employees. It's about empowerment of team leaders. It's a huge opportunity because there you can make a huge difference. Then, of course, we come back to the figures, and it's about profit and cash flow. And Malik once said the necessary profit is often higher than the target profit. So the profit that you need to make is often higher than the one you want to make. The reality is, if you are benchmarking and then you see that there are other companies with 10-15% of sales and profit, then you need to be benchmark. Otherwise, you have a problem in the long run. And so profitability after the wages also of the entrepreneur. So we are talking about profit after salary of the entrepreneur. So you need to make targets there. You need to budget the year 2024 if you have not done it yet. And so profit is a big one, and this leads then to liquidity, because liquidity can be challenging this year. We do not know how it will develop. Availability of credit has slowed down, or is even at least in Europe. I do not know in the States and in other areas. In Europe, we have something like 0.3% less credit to corporations, which means that less money is available for all the industries together. And this means that some industries face tighter financial conditions than others. I would be very, very careful regarding financing this year. And you need to know also the limits there. Yeah, so liquidity, financing, that's a big one. I think it's also good to have, there are long-term goals. So what's your objective for 2030, for instance, regarding financing, regarding the balance sheet? Times like these have many opportunities, especially for those who are well prepared, and this will differentiate market players that are doing great, who are ahead of the curve, who have good processes, and those who have not. When everything is fine, then everybody is fine. So an recession, or at least a more difficult environment, has many, many opportunities, and let's tap it together. So there is a link down in the video description. You can set up an appointment, and we take it from there. Bye-bye.